Have you ever had a moment where you stood up a little too quickly, and suddenly the room felt like it shifted beneath your feet? Or maybe you've noticed it's a little harder to steady yourself when reaching for something high up on a shelf or stepping out of the shower. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And more importantly, it's not something you should brush off as just part of getting older. Every day, I talk to women in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s who mention feeling a little less sure on their feet. Sometimes it starts small, a stumble here, a wobbly step there, but over time, those tiny shifts in balance can turn into something much more dangerous. A fall, a broken hip, a loss of independence. And let me tell you, as a doctor who's worked with older adults for over 3 decades, it's heartbreaking to see how preventable some of these issues truly are. The truth is, balance isn't just about your legs or your sense of coordination. It's deeply connected to your overall health, your muscles, your nervous system, even your hydration. And here's the shocking part. According to recent clinical reviews, over 99% of older women experience some degree of balance decline, not because of age alone, but because of small, often unnoticed mistakes in their daily routine. The kind of mistakes that seem harmless, but quietly chip away at your body's natural stability. So today, I want to gently walk with you through some of those mistakes, not to scare you, but to empower you. Because once you recognize them, you can start to fix them. And when you do, you're not just protecting your balance. You're protecting your freedom, your ability to move with confidence, and your joy in everyday life. Let me begin with one of the most overlooked reasons women lose balance after 60. Not engaging the feet. Yes, the feet. Think about it. When's the last time you really paid attention to the muscles in your toes, your arches, your ankles? Most people don't. We shove our feet into the same pair of shoes every day, walk on hard, flat surfaces, and never consider that our feet are the foundation for our entire body. But over time, this lack of foot stimulation causes the tiny stabilizing muscles to weaken, and when that happens, your body has to work harder to stay upright. I met a woman named Carol, 76 years old, vibrant, sharp as ever. But she started to notice she was gripping the handrails more often when going down her porch steps. Her doctor couldn't find anything seriously wrong, but when we talked, I asked her how often she walked barefoot or used her toes to grip, stretch, or balance. Her answer? Almost never. We started incorporating daily foot exercises, just 5 minutes in the morning, working the toes like fingers, balancing on one foot while brushing her teeth. Within a few weeks, her confidence when walking returned. Something so small made such a big difference. Another subtle mistake is avoiding resistance or strength training. Now, I know the word training can sound intimidating, especially if you've never stepped foot in a gym. But this isn't about lifting heavy weights or sweating through hour-long workouts. This is about maintaining the muscles that hold you up, your thighs, your core, your back. Muscles naturally shrink as we age, especially after menopause. It's called sarcopenia, and it affects women faster than most people realize. And when those muscles get weak, your body loses its ability to stabilize. There was a time I believed walking was enough. After all, it gets your heart pumping and your legs moving, right? But balance relies on strength, not just movement. And if your muscles aren't being challenged, even just a little, they gradually stop responding. One of my patients, Ruth, used to walk every evening for 30 minutes, but still found herself struggling with balance. I suggested she try standing from a chair without using her hands, doing wall push-ups, or stepping sideways over a rolled-up towel. These tiny strength moves, done consistently, reignited her balance. She felt steadier in just 2 weeks. And here's something most people never think about: dehydration. That's right. Just not drinking enough water can throw off your balance. When your body is even mildly dehydrated, your blood pressure can drop when you stand up, making you dizzy. Your muscles become sluggish, your joints creak more, and your brain, especially the part that controls coordination, doesn't get the oxygen it needs. Older adults often say they don't feel thirsty, so they assume they're fine. But the thirst reflex fades with age. So by the time you feel parched, you're already behind. It's something I saw too often in my own mother. She hated drinking water, said it made her feel bloated or just wasn't her thing. But she'd often get lightheaded or complain about cloudy moments. Once we started tracking her fluid intake and gradually added herbal teas, broth, and even juicy fruits like watermelon into her day, her balance and focus noticeably improved. These first few habits may seem unrelated at first glance, but they share something powerful in common. They affect your body's ability to stay centered, upright, and strong. And when you fix them, even little by little, your body begins to remember how to move confidently again. What matters most isn't doing it all perfectly. It's starting somewhere. Listening to your body, being gentle but consistent, and believing that you deserve to feel steady, secure, and strong every single day. Let's keep going. There's something else many older women do every morning that slowly weakens their sense of balance, and it has to do with how they start their day, right from bed. And there's something else that happens each morning that quietly weakens your balance, yet almost nobody talks about it. It's the way we get out of bed. For most people, especially after 60, mornings can be stiff. Your joints feel tight, your blood pressure hasn't fully adjusted, and your muscles are still waking up. But what do many women do? They roll right out of bed, feet flat on the ground, and stand up too quickly. In those first few seconds, your brain might still be catching up with your body. And that's when lightheadedness or sudden imbalance happens. Sometimes, it only lasts a second, but it's all it takes to slip on a rug, miss a step, or bang into a wall. And that first fall, even if minor, can send a ripple of fear through the rest of your life. I remember a woman named Joan who came into my clinic last spring. She was 72 and still lived alone, loved gardening, and never had any major health issues. But one morning, she got up a little too fast and fell right next to her nightstand, bruising her ribs. Nothing was broken, thankfully, but the fear stayed with her. She started avoiding stairs, stopped walking outside alone, and even skipped some social gatherings. Her world got smaller, not because her body was weak, but because one tiny habit had never been corrected. What we taught Joan was simple. Sit up slowly. Dangle your legs off the edge of the bed. Take a few deep breaths. Wiggle your toes. Give your circulation a moment to catch up. It sounds almost silly, but she never had a dizzy episode again after making that one change. Now, let's talk about something most people assume they're doing right: taking medications. I know that many women over 60 are managing a list of prescriptions, some for blood pressure, some for cholesterol, others for bone health or sleep. And while those medications might be necessary, the way they're taken can directly affect your balance. Some drugs, especially blood pressure meds and sedatives, can cause dizziness, muscle weakness, or blurred vision if not timed correctly or taken without food or water. I once sat down with a woman named Linda who had been on the same medication for nearly a decade. She was active, social, and sharp. But recently, she started feeling unsteady, especially in the mornings and after meals. It turned out she had been taking her blood pressure medication on an empty stomach, which caused her levels to drop too low too fast. Her doctor adjusted the dosage and advised her to pair it with food and hydrate properly. Just like that, the dizzy spells vanished. The truth is, medications can be life-saving, but only when managed with care. If you've been feeling off balance, don't assume it's just aging. Look at your pills. Look at when and how you take them. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist. Sometimes, a simple adjustment can make all the difference in how steady you feel. And here's another hidden culprit: poor posture. You might be thinking, "I've always stood like this. What's the big deal?" But posture isn't just about how you look. It's about how your body aligns and distributes weight. Over time, a slight forward hunch, rounded shoulders, or tilted pelvis shifts your center of gravity. And when that happens, your muscles have to work overtime just to keep you upright. Many women don't notice this creeping in because it's gradual. You lean a little more when looking at your phone, sit a little lower when reading, slump just a bit while watching TV. It's not dramatic at first, but fast forward a year or two, and your spine is slightly curved, your head is forward, and your core muscles have weakened. Suddenly, standing on one foot to put on a shoe feels like a circus act. I once worked with a woman named Elise. She was 68 and still did yoga, but even she struggled with balance while walking on uneven ground. When we looked closely, her posture had subtly shifted. Her pelvis tilted forward, and her head was always craning to look down. After adding gentle back stretches, core strengthening, and posture awareness throughout her day, she regained her natural alignment. The difference in her walking was noticeable even to her friends. Posture can change your life, quietly and profoundly. The good news is, it's never too late to correct it. Every time you sit up straight, roll your shoulders back, and engage your belly muscles, you're reminding your body of its natural blueprint. You're saying, "I belong upright. I'm balanced. I'm strong." And now I want to share a point that surprises many people: the type of shoes you wear at home. Most older women understand the importance of supportive shoes when going outside. But what about inside the house? Many wear soft slippers, flip-flops, or even go barefoot on slippery floors. And while it might feel more comfortable, the lack of grip, arch support, and heel stability increases the chance of slipping or overworking weak ankle muscles. You wouldn't believe how often I see falls that happen not in the garden, not on the sidewalk, but right in the kitchen. A bit of water spilled near the sink, a sudden step back on a smooth tile, a wobbly slipper that folds under your heel. It's all too common and all too avoidable. Just last month, I spoke with a 74-year-old named Mary who tripped while reaching for a pan. Her slipper had no back and slid off just as she shifted her weight. She didn't fall hard, but it shook her confidence. We recommended supportive indoor shoes with firm soles and heel backs. Nothing fancy, just reliable. She told me it felt strange at first, but now she wears them all day and feels much safer moving around. Sometimes the answer isn't a new pill, a big machine, or a complicated workout. Sometimes it's just changing what you put on your feet. Each of these daily habits, while small on their own, adds up over time. And they don't just affect how steady you feel. They shape your independence, your confidence, your ability to keep enjoying the life you've worked so hard to build. You don't have to live in fear of falling. You don't have to accept balance loss as inevitable. You can take it back, one gentle choice at a time. There's still more to talk about, especially one habit that happens around mealtimes that's quietly draining your strength without you realizing it: And that habit has everything to do with how you eat and what you do after. You see, many older women tend to sit for long periods after a meal. Maybe you eat lunch, then relax on the couch to read or watch TV. It seems harmless, right? But here's the problem. When you stay seated too long after eating, especially in a soft chair or recliner, your digestion slows down, your muscles stay inactive, and your circulation doesn't get the gentle push it needs to keep your body balanced and energized. This can leave you feeling sluggish, foggy, and unsteady when you finally get up. Your body is meant to move, especially after eating. It doesn't have to be anything intense. Just a few minutes of walking around the house, stretching by the window, or standing while washing a few dishes can help. This movement tells your blood vessels to stay alert. It tells your muscles, hey, we're still in use. And it signals your brain to stay sharp. Skipping this step might seem small, but over time, it plays a bigger role than you think in how balanced you feel from day to day. I remember speaking with a woman named Diane, 70 years old, still full of life, but she confessed she always felt her legs go to sleep after lunch. We realized she was eating and then lounging immediately afterward, sometimes for over an hour. Once she started setting a simple kitchen timer for 15 minutes after each meal, just to remind herself to stand and move a little. She told me her afternoon grogginess nearly vanished. It wasn't magic. It was just a shift in awareness. Now, we can't talk about balance without addressing sleep. You might not expect it, but poor sleep, or inconsistent sleep, can wreak havoc on your stability. When you don't sleep deeply or long enough, your brain doesn't get the chance to fully recover. That affects reaction time, coordination, and even the way your body processes information about movement and space. Many women after 60 report having trouble falling or staying asleep. Night sweats, bathroom trips, anxiety. It all adds up. But what few people realize is that sleep-deprived brains are slower to respond. So when you trip, your body doesn't react fast enough to catch you. When you tilt, your inner ear may not send the right signals in time. It's not just about being tired. It's about being vulnerable. I once worked with a woman named Gloria, who had 2 minor falls within 6 months. She wasn't sick. She wasn't weak. But she was barely sleeping 5 hours a night and constantly waking up. We worked on improving her sleep hygiene, cutting off screens at night, adding magnesium-rich foods, sticking to a regular routine. And within a few weeks, not only did her sleep improve, but so did her steadiness. She told me, I didn't know how foggy I was until I started feeling clear again. Sleep isn't just for rest. It's repair. And when you give your body that gift consistently, everything else, especially your balance, functions better. The last mistake I want to share might be the most important one of all. It's not a physical habit, but a mindset. It's believing that balance loss is just part of aging, and there's nothing you can do about it. That kind of thinking is dangerous. It robs you of your agency. It whispers, don't bother trying. This is just how it goes. And I've seen far too many strong, capable women shrink their worlds, not because of what their bodies couldn't do, but because of what they believed they couldn't fix. I want to tell you this plainly. You're not too old to improve. You're not too far gone to get stronger. Your body responds to attention, to care, to effort, even small effort, even 5 minutes a day. Your muscles remember. Your brain rewires. Your body wants to work with you, not against you. I've seen 85-year-old women regain their footing. I've seen widows take up dance classes. I've seen retired nurses who once feared steps now climbing stairs with groceries in hand. Not because they were extraordinary, but because they decided to try, one day at a time. So if you've recognized yourself in any of these habits, whether it's skipping strength work, getting up too fast, ignoring posture, or believing it's too late, I want you to take a deep breath right now. You're not behind, you're right on time, and you're not alone. Let's quickly revisit what we've talked about, not to overwhelm you, but to remind you how doable these changes really are. Strengthen your feet, stay hydrated, move after meals, watch your posture, review your medications, be gentle in the mornings, wear proper shoes, even at home, and get the sleep your body so deeply needs. These aren't major overhauls. They're simple, doable shifts. They don't require fancy equipment, special training, or massive lifestyle changes. What they do require is your commitment to yourself, your willingness to care for the parts of you that carry you through the world. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you. Truly. That means you care about your health, your independence, your future. And I want you to know, I care too. Every fall we prevent is a victory. Every day you move with confidence is a day well lived. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing in this video that surprised you or made you pause? Maybe something you're going to start doing differently today. Leave a comment below and let's share with each other, because every bit of wisdom helps someone else too. If this video helped you, please take a moment to click the like button. It helps this message reach more people who might be struggling quietly. And if you want more honest, practical advice like this, hit subscribe and join our community. We're in this together. Here's to strength you didn't know you still had, to balance you're about to reclaim, and to walking through life, at any age, with your head high and your feet steady. You've got this.